In this section, we will cover the ability to rotate a character and move it forward or backward using the character controller. Since this video is related to the previous video, Character Controller Part 1 and Part 2, I recommend that you watch those videos first. First, I will create a new game object and name it Manager Control. Next, I will create a new script and then apply the script to the game object I just created. The variable creation is almost the same as in the last video, so I will proceed a little faster. I'm going to create a character controller, an animator variables, and variables related to the input. I will also create Vector3 movement and gravity variables that will be used directly in the character controller. In the start method, I will first find the game object with a player tag and store it in a temporary variable. Then I will store the character controller component applied to the temporary variable in a variable. The animator is applied to the object that is the character's first child. Let's find the child object first, then store the animator component in a variable. Since the character moves while running, I will set the movement speed to 4. When the character falls from a high place, like the previous video, I will set the size of gravity to 0.5. In the update method, I will write the code for keystrokes. The character will move in the X and Z directions in world coordinates. All of the character's movement code will be written in fixed update. First, let's make the character go forward and backward. I will store a value in the Vector3 variable so that the character moves forward and backward only when the W key or S key is pressed on the keyboard. The character's rotation is only rotated along the Y-axis of the coordinates, and is only executed through the A and D keys on the keyboard. Don't forget to multiply the time, as the rotate command should be done in real time, not just by keystroke. If I finish like this, the character's rotation is too slow, so I will multiply it by 100. Now, let's create a character movement function. As explained earlier, the character only moves forward and backward, so I will use the variable movement that will be used to move the character controller. If I use only the movement variable, the character does not move, so I will multiply the variable by time and speed. Now let's run the game and see if it works. You can see that the character rotates and moves well. The implementation of the artificial gravity function for the character to fall from a high place is the same as the previous video. There is no effect if the character is on the ground, and if it is in the air or off the ground, it will continue to move in the negative y direction. The character controller's move command can be used multiple times if the moving directions do not overlap. Therefore, it is possible to move the character and implement the artificial gravity function by using the move command twice. Now that all the character movement functions have been implemented, it is time to implement the animation playback function. First, let's look at the animator applied to the character. In the last video, only the idle and run animations were applied, but in today's example, the walking animation was added. The parameter for playing the walking animation is walk, and the idle animation and transition are enabled. Before implementing the function, let's check the intro video first. When the character rotates, the walking animation is played. The walking animation should only play when the character rotates in place. And when the character advances, the running motion is played. Now that we've created a rule, let's write some code to implement it so that the animation plays correctly. First, make the idle animation play when the character is not moving forward or backward. If there is no horizontal keystroke, set the animator parameter is run to false. In the opposite case, the setting of that parameter should be true. It's okay as it is now, but the idle animation playback doesn't look very good when the character is rotated. As we made rules, I will make the walking animation play when the character rotates. Since the character's rotation only takes place on the horizontal keystroke, I will make the walk animation play if it is greater than or less than 0. If there is no keystroke, only the idle animation will play. You can see that the walking animation plays well when the character rotates. However, there's a problem where the walking animation is maintained if the character moves forward while rotating. Let's check it through an animator. If you advance while the character is rotating, you can see that both the run and swap parameters are true. In this case, the is walk parameter must be false. If the running animation is playing, it can be solved simply by making the walking animation inactive. Now you can see that the animation plays perfectly as the character rotates and moves. That's all for today's video. Thank you. See you next time.